Hi, welcome to the new section in this course. In this section, we will be discussing how to design effective APIs. And the objectives of this section are we will understand the importance of the contract first API design and the RAML fragments. And then we will also move on and understand how to do API versioning and where to expose what elements of an API version. And we will also learn about the data models like the enterprise data model and the bounded context data models. And we will also learn how to choose between the enterprise data model and bounded context data model. Then we will learn how to actually design our system APIs properly to abstract them from the backend systems. Then we will move on and we will do some HTTP based asynchronous execution of API invocations and also see how to apply caching to meet some of the NFRs. Although we have already seen this asynchronous execution and the HTTP caching policies in the previous sections, here we will discuss a bit more about those. And the last, we will see how the idempotent HTTP methods work and what are the HTTP native support for the optimistic concurrency in the HTTP world. Alright. So without wasting any time, let us move on and understand the first part, which is about the API design on Anypoint platform. Okay. So let's see about the API design with Anypoint platform and the RAML. So MuleSoft actually, like they do lot of promotions, right? They always, again, one of the point which they promote is the API specification driven design. Okay, meaning the contract first API design. So what MuleSoft suggests is we have to start by creating the API specification, ideally in the form of a RAML definition, and then we have to simulate the interaction with the API based on that particular API specification. And next thing is, after doing these two, we have to gather feedback from the potential future API consumers as fast as possible. And also we have to publish documentation and API related assets, including the RAML definition of the API. Only then we have to start the implementation of the API. Okay. So until the first four which we discussed are done and properly established, MuleSoft does not recommend to start the API implementation. We have to first start the API specification as a RAML or any other supported specification mechanism, then simulate the interactions with the API specification, gather the feedback from the potential future API consumers, publish the documentation and all the related assets to the exchange, only then start the API implementation. So this is the approach that has been followed even by us so far in the course, right, in all the previous sections, which is good. Now let us see what are the other things supported by the Anypoint platform in the aspect of API specifications. So what other API specifications are supported? The first one, like you know, is the RAML definition. So the RAML definitions are the first class support in all relevant components. So with respect to API, every single RAML component or the varieties of it are supported by the Anypoint platform. Then the second specification supported is the Open API, also called as OAS, if you have seen before, Open API Spec or Swagger. So these Open API documents are also supported. So we can import or export in the Anypoint Design Center such Open API specifications, or we can also import in the Exchange, Anypoint Exchange as well. And the third API specification is WSDL documents, WSDL, which are SOAP, right? So we can import such documents in the Anypoint Exchange. Now, let us understand about identifying and publishing reusable RAML fragments. It is not only entire APIs that can be reused in an application network. Okay, if an API specification is defined in RAML, then it is likely that it makes use of concepts that are reusable in other contexts. These reusable parts of a RAML definition are called the RAML fragments. We already saw this definition before, right? So what are the RAML fragments? Are the small pieces of the RAML, correct? So the RAML fragments define aspects of the interface between an API client and an API implementation of the API in the question. So they are like partial interface definitions that can be mixed in to a complete RAML definition. Okay, so all such smaller RAML fragments will be composed and they form a full complete RAML definition. With the support of the C4E team, so what we can do is you can isolate these and the other RAML fragments from the APIs that are identified in your organization project. Okay, so again we discussed this in the previous sections where these RAML fragment creations can be owned by the C4E and they can come up with all the reusable fragments. So as we discussed, some of them are like the RAML security scheme definitions for HTTP basic authentication and OAuth 2.0. Some other fragments are the RAML library containing resource types to support collections of items, and the RAML library also containing resource types as well as traits like we used in some of the lectures in the previous section to support asynchronous processing of API invocations with polling, etc. And RAML traits alone as well without the library for the API policies recommended at the organization of yours, like the client ID enforcement, SLA based and non-SLA based rate limiting, throttling and spike control, etc. We can have traits even for such kind of policies or NFRs. So these RAML fragments are represented in the Anypoint platform in two places like we have seen before. One is the Anypoint Design Center and the Anypoint Exchange Asset. So the fragments can be designed in the design center just like the actual RAML, and they can also be published to the Anypoint Exchange. So this makes them discoverable and reusable within the application network. Okay, so you can see a sample snapshot here where what kind of different fragments are there on the exchange and how they can be discoverable. All right, so this lecture is more about just a kind of revision to understand what all things are as part of the API design are covered so far in the course, as well as to make you understand that whatever we did so far are as per the MuleSoft proposal or recommendation. Okay, so let us move on to the next lecture, which is about the versioning of the APIs. All right, happy learning.